Shalom, shalom, Saul Yeshua. Welcome again to the ride. In my woodshed, I have to get this thing filled up before winter. So that's what my thing that I'm doing today is splitting wood and stacking it. Had a nice rain come in, and praise y'all. Fall garden's doing well. I'll be doing some videos of that soon. Uh, Also, if you are looking for, because I was thinking I have a lot of orders to send out of seeds. If you're looking for Egyptian or Hebrew walking onions, I have them. They actually call them Egyptian walking onions. But you can see how mine are growing. And you can see the toilet scrubber that I use to clean the inside of my rain catchment barrels right there. It's not supposed to be down there. It's supposed to be on top of that. But anyways, my Hebrew walking onions, if you are still looking for some, I still have them for sale. I still have them for sale. Send me an email at hood, H-O-O-D, the number 2, and then homestead at yahoo.com, and I can get some out to you. I have sent out tons of orders this year, and I'm going to thank you all for those who purchased them. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to email me at hood to homestead. If you want to know, later on, you say, hey, I bought some Egyptian walking or Hebrew walking onions from you. And what do I do now that they are starting to bulb? You don't be afraid to send me an email. And even if you didn't buy them from me and you had a question about them, don't be afraid to send me an email. I have no problem answering those emails as well. You don't have to buy it from me in order for me to answer a question on gardening. And then I got a couple emails over the past weekend, the past week, from people on Facebook. And they were saying, following that show, there's somebody who you helped. I remember you helped them because, whatever. And now he is, low key, taking shots at you. First and foremost, let me just say, I don't care. I don't care if a person's taking shots at me. I mean, I thank you for telling me because that just lets me know, okay, well, I'm one of those people that, living where I've lived before, it's important to know who your friends are, and it's important to know who your enemies are. It's important to know, though, because, a lot of people will come and smile on your face. They will cheese it in your face and bless you and hallelujah in your face, but then when they get behind your back, take shots at you. And the thing is that this is the character of a lot of men today. A man has a right to do that. A man has a right to take shots. A man has a right to talk shit if he wants to. These are the rights of men. They also have to pay the recompense of those things. They also have to eat the fruit of their ways, as the Bible says. But they can take their shots. I'm not even interested in what was said, because it's none of my business. That's what a man has the ability to do that. He is, he's governing himself. If he burns bridges, he burns bridges. None of that is any relevance to me. What is relevant to me is that this winter, it's going to be cold. And what should be relevant to you is that this winter is going to be cold. And energy prices are going to go out of the roof. They're already going out of the roof. There was a report I was reading, this is in Poland, of people sitting in line for 3 days. Now they're staying in line up to a week to get coal to heat their homes. And you say, well, that's in Poland, following Yeshua. We're in this country and we don't have that problem. Well, we are going to have a problem as energy rates continue to keep rising. And they are continuing to rise. I'm getting reports from all over this country of people send me, their bill, not the picture of their bill, saying, man, along with food prices going up, the energy prices are going up. We're talking about doubling and tripling in my area. See, that's a problem, because you only have so much money. The rent price is going up, and energy prices going up, and there's everything going up. There's a refinery that got shut down in the Midwest. I can't remember where it was, but a refinery got shut down. I think it was a BP refinery got shut down. And the state of Michigan issued out a state of emergency because they want to make sure they can get fuel and diesel. And they lifted the restrictions on diesel and fuel semi-truck drivers, that the rest restrictions, because with that refinery going out, it served that area. It serves Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio. It served that area. So energy. Well, that's energy for your vehicle, but some people use energy, use gasoline to fuel up a generator to keep warm or something like that. And you're going to see a lot more of that. People using gas because they're not going to be able to afford, to pay their, their apartment or their house or the whatever heating bill. They're going to be relying on, My Little Buddy heaters or, things like that to stay warm. See, this is where this comes in handy. When you heat from wood, when you heat from a resource that, when you heat from a resource that is readily available, it's readily available. I will never have an issue with heating. Every year, out here, we'll, lose a tree. A tree will fall. Maybe 2 trees will fall over the course of the fall. Usually, a lot of the times, it happens in the fall and in the winter and in the early spring, because in the spring, the freezes come and it may kill a tree, or a tree that has already been dead, is weighed down from, any ice or snow that it packed on it, or the freezes, and then the high winds come in spring and the tree falls. Well, I have tons of trees that are falling. I will never run out of fuel to heat and keep my family warm. Never. That's, again, one of the beautiful benefits of owning even a half acre of land. Even, I was doing a analysis of wood, and they said for every 1 acre of trees, they will provide a cord of growth per acre. So literally every acre of trees you have over the course of the year, it'll provide you a whole cord of growth of firewood, which is plenty of firewood, if, depending on what kind of a dwelling size you're heating, how efficient your stove is and your pipes and things like that. But you're going to have your house warm. And it comes free. Yah provides the rain, the trees provide seeds, the seeds fall on the ground, that process continues, and you're always going to have firewood. But you have to have an idea of what you're going to do to heat your home this winter, especially if prices rise. A couple of good ideas. No, do not light your barbecue grill in your living room trying to stay warm. Do not go into your patio and try to have a bonfire on your patio. That happened last year, and people burned not just their apartment down, but other apartments down around them because they were trying to keep warm. They would go outside, light their grill on fire to try and keep warm. This is going to be a bad winter as far as energy prices are concerned. And many people are not going to be able to afford it. So here are some of the things you could do. Blankets. Blankets, blankets, blankets. Coats, sleeping in a coat, sleeping in some sweatpants, sleeping in some long johns is not a bad idea. Having an ample supply of those. You don't want to be the one who's sitting in your car, which is going to happen this year, sitting in your car with your car running and your heater on to try and stay warm. You don't want to be that person. Even though I know it's going to happen. So, sleeping bags. Get those sleeping bags that will allow you to stay, they have a cold rating that's really, really low. That's below, especially if you're in a freeze area. If you're in an area where it gets below freezing, in Ozarks it does, get a sleeping bag that gets below that level so that and get one for every, and yes, they can be pretty expensive, but get one for every member of your family. Get those heat or thermal socks, those really thick, woolish socks that you can put on your feet. Get gloves, get beanies, get those things that you need right now. A good time to have gotten them was end of last winter. The end of last winter, all those things that these stores have go on clearance. They go 50% off, 75% off. So I was able to buy, $10, thermal socks, adult size, 2 pairs. They're normally $10. I got them for 3. So I was able to stockpile and put back, 10 to 15 packs so that my family has socks for the winter. They got thermal socks for the winter. So, 10, I think it was about 15 packs. So it's 30 pairs of thermal socks for the family. Long john, same thing. They went on clearance. Winter coats go on clearance. I was able to get some of those Swiss, I can't remember the other name, Swiss whatever, snow pants for like $7. Regularly priced $35. But that's not going to help you now. You can go and you can buy those things now, and if you don't have them, that might be a good idea to go buy some of those things right now. buy some of those things that you're going to need, and then especially if you have food stored up, if you have water stored up, if you have an ability to protect yourself, or if you have those things already handled. What I mean by stored up is you can always add more food. You can always add another container of water, another gallon of water, slide it underneath your bed, another gallon of water, put it in your closet, another gallon of water, put it on your patio, 5 gallons of water. You can always do that. But if you have enough, we're at a point right now where you can take a month off and focus on just making sure you have the winter supplies, winter boots. Just have the supplies that you need. They have those individual warmers. You can put some of those away. You never know when you're going to need the warm hands things. You never know when you're going to need those things. I keep a couple in my car, especially during the wintertime, because just in case. If something were to happen and I needed, my car broke down and wouldn't start, well, then there goes your ability to turn your heater on. So, having some of those warm hands in your car, you could put them in the front of your sweater, or those little kangaroo pouches they have on sweatshirts. You could put one in there, put both your hands in there, at least keep your hands warm, keep your extremities warm. Some good beanies. These are some of the things that you have to consider and think about right now, because winter's going to be bad, and we have a problem of waiting until things get bad and waiting until we need it. And when we need it and we go to the store, the prices are absorbent with inflation eating everything up. If you have a little extra money, it might be a good idea. But specifically, if you have this, if you have a wood stoves, and the ability to burn your own wood, which means you have to be in a state that is friendly to that. If you're in an area that, where the temperatures don't get, down too low, you can get away with just having some warm clothing. But if you live in a state where it gets cold and you live in a dwelling, people could be freezing. I'm not going to be surprised this year if we find out that people literally lost their lives because they could not heat their home. They could not stay warm. And then with that, if heating prices continue to go up and up and up and up and up, and people can't afford it, you're going to start seeing people go to stores. That's another thing that we saw is people would go to like Walmart and walk around Walmart because Walmart kept kept it livable. So they would go to the 24-hour Walmarts in the middle of the night. There were people sleeping in fitting rooms. Crime is going to rise because of this. This whole system is falling apart. And whether you believed it or whether you're not, or whether you're a skeptic or whether you're saying you're, fear-mongering, hey, you can call it whatever you want to. It's better to have a little bit of prudence now than to be scared shitless later because you did not prepare yourself or your family for what is coming. Hopefully people are taking heed. Anyways, I'm going to get back to this. I'm on that pile right now. It'll be my 3rd row, and I think this thing holds 5 rows. So I'm about halfway done. Bless y'all. Shalom.